Hello and welcome to the Turtle Hour podcast. I'm Joel,
I'm Goose.
and we're back once again.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
I'm still fucking full. If I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I haven't stopped eating since Monday.
Shit, you know
Tuesday?
what? Same. So,
I mean, well, actually September. So
oh, dude, oh man, it was a good Thanksgiving dinner,
yeah,
but it was a different one, wasn't it?
very different for
Yeah.
sure. Well, I mean, you got to realize, like, coming from someone who spent last holidays all by themselves,
Oof.
like this was pretty nice.
Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like
Like
more
even,
than last year for sure.
yeah,
for you.
like how I say this. I know people like complain and shit like about not being able to see family and stuff like that like during the holidays. Like 100% understand that. But the think about it this way. There are people out there who can't see their family because their family is dead.
True.
Or they're in a situation where they're all by themselves and they just can't do anything about it, and you're upset because you have to be in this household with the same people that you're in with every single day. But this is, for me, the holidays is kind of a time to actually just sit back and realize, like, your family within your own house.
Yeah.
And appreciate them.
Yeah. And
For
this
sure.
year we didn't get a choice really to like
Yeah.
because usually we like my parents would host, right?
Mhm.
And so everybody would be there. We'd have the whole extended family, cousins and everything. And so this year, just being the household eating together, it was nice. And we actually ate before 9 p.m. and went to bed at around a reasonable time.
Did you eat at around 9 p.m.? I thought you ate later than that.
No, we finished eating at 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But dude, it was so good. My mom still cooked. Like, there were 12 people at the table. So I know I'm going to be having mashed potatoes, stuffing.
You didn't bring me any fucking mashed potatoes?
I didn't bring any stuffing. My mom's stuffing is to die for. Mashed potatoes are like a solid 10, right? But the stuffing. But it, like,
you want me to be honest with you, bro?
What's up?
Like, I looked at the stuffing this year, and I was just like, it ain't it.
But you haven't had my mom's stuffing though. I'm telling you.
It just doesn't look appetizing to me. Like I've eaten it before. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, like, fuck this food and never tried it.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually food that I've had, and like just this year, like I was just like, I know it's been 2 years since I've had stuffing, but I just don't wanna. I'm all right.
I'm good. I got everything else.
I mean, I had my cheesy potatoes, I had the turkey, I had rice, and my dad actually made these beans where they make son frijoles de la olla, right?
Okay.
But you put salchicha and bacon in there, and a little bit of I'm not sure if it's some kind of chile that they put in there too.
Oh, okay.
And you put it over the rice, bro. Oh, so fucking good.
You're making my mouth water.
Everyone listening to this is probably
I hope you're all not hungry.
to be honest.
Otherwise, we're torturing your asses right now.
On their way to work, just like
It's 7 a.m.
These
They haven't
mother-
had breakfast. They're running late.
these
They can't
motherfuckers got rice and beans stuck in my head for the rest of the day. You have to
jeez.
hit up your local.
Rice and bean shop.
Rice and bean
Is that what you were gonna say?
I was gonna say Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. Shout out Arandas. Las Arandas, right? Las Arandas.
Listen, man, Burrito House just takes the cake for me.
Really? It was good. It was good when we had it, but it was so late and I was tired, I think. And
Yeah.
it was just late. I don't know. I had a torta. It was good. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't know if I was awake enough to savor that torta.
It's okay.
Like,
When you turn 21, bro, and we have our bender, I'm going to take you to Burrito House.
damn.
Yeah.
But it's
Is
it good sober food or is it just
No, it's good sober food.
okay?
No, I've had it sober.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were sober that day, too, that you
Yeah.
had it. Yeah. Maybe
was-
your
it was
taste
good.
buds were just not
I was
not into it.
yeah, usually I'm pretty active when it comes to food. Like
That day, for some reason, you were just like...
dude, it was 4 a.m. What do you mean that day? Oh no, it was 2 a.m.
It was like... No, it was not 2 a.m.
Yeah, they were about to close.
It was like 1. This was Halloween night. Holy shit.
Yeah, and but we took it back home, and I love how we said we weren't gonna cover Halloween because it already passed.
This is coming up.
Yeah, but heck,
Crazy how Halloween changes from knocking on strangers' doors to get candy to knocking on strangers' doors to enter a party.
well, we didn't do that.
No,
I
didn't,
just knocked on your
but-
door, and I was like, "Hey, bro."
Well, no, you didn't knock on my door. You picked me up because you a G.
True.
Real friend over here.
Hell yeah.
That was a good
You
night.
got the breathalyzer. That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was funny.
I was just telling you.
I did it just for the inside joke too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I appreciate it.
I was just like, I'm gonna look like a fool. His parents are probably gonna look at me and be like, "What the fuck is this kid doing?" And like, like, there's no one single at that party.
Right.
I'm like the only single one there, really.
Oh god, it
So they're
said
just-
blow me on the
It
bottom
said
of it.
blow me. They're just like, I mean, everyone loved my costume. Obviously the guys had fun with it and shit.
No shit.
That
yeah.
sounds terrible.
Does it?
But I was just like, it's gonna be so worth it when Joel picks me up and we can
Oh,
reference back
Oh
to it.
yes. What was the context? I was just telling you about if you deny a breathalyzer, you immediately are guilty of intoxication while driving. If you're stopped, that's because that's true. If you deny a breathalyzer, you're admitting essentially up until it's proven somehow that you weren't drunk that night.
Jeez. But I
Um,
think it was because I told you, I'd bring a breathalyzer with me just so I can make sure I'm good to
and
drive.
I was like, "What? Does Junior have a spare or something?" And yeah, that was a good reference just because
Yeah.
you literally brought a breathalyzer.
I
with
was just
you.
like, fuck it, full send. Yeah,
Oh man, but we got home. Let's not talk about that.
that was a fun night.
That was a fun night. But yeah, Thanksgiving this year different, obviously for the good reasons, of like keeping family safe. And,
Thanksgiving. Yeah, keep going.
yeah, it was good. But I'm just looking at in the future and just like, damn, what is Christmas gonna do? Because usually Christmas Eve, we'll all go over to my uncle's house. And he'll be Santa then, and then on Christmas Day, we'll be Santa at our house and just give out presents like that, and have a lot of like the family come over too. So it's like, I don't know how that's gonna work this year.
I think as a family you have to get creative.
We're just gonna get tested probably the week before and just be like, we're all good, and then go.
True. I mean, that still isn't foolproof.
It's
but,
really not. Like, you'd have to do it the day before.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, for me, how do I say this again? Like, I understand like not being with the bigger family and stuff like that during
Mhm.
holidays, but this year I'm just thankful I'm actually get to be with people.
Yeah, dude.
Like
You were having if I'm gonna be honest, you were having a rough go of it sometimes during I noticed during the holiday seasons. You were just
if I had a coin for, if I could flip a coin every time, to see if I'm going to have a good holiday or a bad holiday for the past 4 years, 3.5 years, it's like one was disguised as a really good one, but really I was falling into something I really shouldn't have, and then it's just like, it affects the one after that because, you're in the situation, and then now it's just like, I'm free. I can just, I have a better understanding of what it truly means to be together for the holidays,
yeah.
And I think we all learn it at some point,
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are learning it this year, as just like, as shitty as the situation is, if you do have the opportunity to just be with your family, dude, like, trust me, there's a lot of people out there that wish they could be with
Their family
with just their sister or
Yeah.
just their brother, and they can't, whether it be for other reasons or because of what's going on in the world right now,
Yeah.
So, obviously it's a hard time to not be selfish.
Yeah. You
For sure.
definitely. We have a newfound not newfound, but we have a deeper appreciation of family gathering right now than we've ever probably had before.
Yeah.
If you're being responsible, you haven't a lot of the time you haven't seen somebody in a long time.
Yeah.
And depending on who that is, it's really nice to get to see them again, or it's a relief that they're okay because maybe they were sick and then they came back and they were good.
How has Thanksgiving changed for you from when you were, like, from your memories of it? How you've perceived it. How has, like, your perception of Thanksgiving changed throughout the years?
My perception of Thanksgiving, I mean, it was always about, like, Thanksgiving has always been about the food and the family, and then the joke is that we always say what we're thankful for, and that's why we never, like, we'll go around the table to every family member and they'll say what they're thankful for. And depending on who it is, it's either brief and, like, short and sweet, or it's like those really, no, not to say long-winded, but the really, like, the older generation really has a lot to reflect on, right? And so, man, last Thanksgiving, my grandfather just recovered from his surgery, his pancreatic, tumor removal there. And, we all had to, say our speech and say our piece about being thankful for our family and everything. And
right.
So we definitely got a taste of,
mortality.
Not even mortality, just
appreciation.
That appreciation. And it's still very much in play right now because everybody is vulnerable now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, we don't know who can get it. Like, I know I was worried when my, when I had a family member who got it and he has asthma and, like, or not asthma, but, like, trouble breathing and stuff. Yeah, I think asthma. I'm pretty sure it's asthma. And, they got it and I was like, damn, like, oh God, that's,
right.
It's just, scary.
Yeah.
And, you have that thought in the back of your mind constantly, whatever you're doing. And that can be stressful, especially because, we were constantly, I was constantly working during that whole time. And, it affects you.
Yeah, for sure.
So these family gatherings are even more important because now people are getting creative and they're just like, Zoom calls and like FaceTime and everything.
Yeah, or some people just haven't changed anything at all.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who it is.
Yeah. I mean, for me, Thanksgiving was always family from Iowa coming over from my mom's side. So that's always been kind of like that whole shebang and stuff like that. They usually come over here, usually it's either we eat a bunch of food and then just chillax, or there have been times where, like, we've eaten a bunch of food, gone to the flea market, stuff like that. Because obviously, it's Chicago and they live in Des Moines, Iowa, so it is a little different. So that's usually what Thanksgiving was all about for us, I guess you could say, growing up.
Yeah, in recent times, we actually, my dad's really good friend from Guatemala has been coming over with his family actually on Thanksgiving. He just reminded me of that. And, like, for the past couple, we've had him and his family over. And, yeah, that's really nice, too, because whole different country or whole different state, you get to share experiences like we are now. But, yeah, continue.
No, yeah. It's just, there's just something about food that just brings people together.
Hell yeah.
Because just, like, I don't know what it is. And like, kind of like we mentioned on the social media episode, about, like, sitting down with your parents and, like, instead of having your phone with you, like, just actually try and have a conversation with your parents. I think Thanksgiving is a good indicator of that.
Yeah.
It's just like, you think back to it and you're just like, damn, like, it was actually a good time,
Yeah.
And, obviously there's still those people that just don't put the phone down, but
but that's usually after dinner,
Yeah.
Usually at the table, at least for my family, there's not even space to put your phone down for because of how much food there is.
No, and I wasn't gonna say, yeah. I mean, if someone says something you don't like, catch these hands, bro.
Jesus,
I'm kidding. I'm thankful enough
thankful
that
for my karate lessons when I was young.
Come at me, bro. I'm glad, like, there's never been really, like, much, like, beef between, like, any, like, really family and stuff like that comes over. And if there is, it's just kind of just like small, like petty shit. It's just like, yeah, just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
like it's whatever.
I find that usually during the holidays, that's put aside a lot of the time. You know, it's
for
definitely it's
most
not.
people, there is
At least in my family is what I'm saying. Like, you know, like it's put to the side and it's not really dramatized in front of everybody.
Mhm.
You can tell if there's something, right? But I think, you know, my family is pretty good at just, you know, allowing that stuff
Yeah.
to not get in the way of all, like, the whole family reunion. It's
Yeah.
not between the holiday isn't just you
About you
and
and
the
your
person
problem,
that you
right.
have a problem with, or just a problem in general.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes it like late at night when we're all talking and the adults are like, you know, drunk or not even drunk, but like a little tipsy, it'll
Right.
turn into like a little therapy session, and
Yeah.
that's the time to, you
Like,
know,
hey, yo, I heard you said some shit about my feet, bro. What?
I know my pinkies do that thing where they look flat and shit, but like, relax.
Hear you talking about my feet in these streets. Fuck you up, man.
But yeah, it's like a time to resolve that kind of stuff and just move past it.
Yeah. But also kind of like something that we brought up in the last episode too is just people's maturity levels just
Different.
very
between each other.
different. Sometimes you feel like you're making amends with someone, and then in reality, in their mind, they thought everything you said was fake, and the problem still. Again, maybe I'm just thinking like too much into it, but
I mean, we all
it is
got-
what it is.
We all got different experiences with it so far. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Thanksgiving's for me, how I say it, it's like the beginning of the end. You know what I'm
this
saying?
again.
It is. It really is. It's like the beginning of the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
And it's the beginning of the last holiday of the year.
Yeah.
Really. And I don't know. For me, there's just something about being at the end of something and just kind of like it feeling so like nice. I don't know. It's just because like you finally get to like put everything that's happened this year, kind of just put it in a folder and just be like
End of the
moving
year
on.
review.
Yeah, you're just moving on.
Yeah, it's cathartic. Is the thing, it's that release.
Yeah,
like-
I wanted to say that, but I didn't want I don't want you to think I was talking about like death or something.
No.
But
that sweet release.
that sweet release.
By the end of this year, I'll have my sweet release.
Like I tell Adrian, that's the whole reason I go to Lake Opeka. That
Oh yeah, you put the car in neutral and just let it roll.
just let it
But
roll.
you get right to the edge. You don't
I
let
park
it go
it.
all the
I
way.
park it far enough just so it gets just right there.
That's terrible. That's terrible, bro. What if someone found you? Some little kid at the park.
Like what's that guy doing? Why is he slowly going?
He's face
into the
down in the water.
Jeez.
That's fucked up.
I wouldn't get out of the car because I'd have the windows closed.
Submarine.
Because if I
You
left,
just
if I left the windows open,
you realize you would just asphyxiate down there, right? Because
yeah,
and water would
but,
get in
Yeah,
anyway.
but if I had the windows open, then I would have that ability just to escape. The whole point is to not escape. That sounds morbid as shit.
There's
I know.
no turning back from there.
Yeah, at least
Jesus.
if you
Obviously
close
a
the windows,
joke,
there's
guys. Obviously a joke.
Yeah.
Please refer back to our "Suicide is Not a Joke" episode number 2.
I mean, it's not a joke, but dark humor is still well and alive.
Well and
some
alive.
of us will not let it die.
Speaking of dark humor, Christmas. No, I'm kidding.
Christmas.
You know what's the real joke is all these people blasting Christmas music before Thanksgiving even happens, bro.
Yeah.
Really grinds my gears there.
Why?
Not really. No, I love Christmas, man. It's a good time. Fun time.
I
to
like
get
the
together.
lights.
I think my dad just put up the lights, actually.
Can I go over and just stare at your lights?
Sure.
I'm just gonna park up.
Don't you have to put up lights with your dad?
Well, he said we were gonna put them up today, and I woke up at like 12, and no one.
No
he
one
was
woke
just
you.
chilling. And I was just like, okay, I ain't mad at that.
He woke up and he was like, "God, Lee, I'm not gonna do this today, bro."
No, it's funny because I guess my mom went to go hang out with like a friend or whatever
Mhm.
today, and My dad was just downstairs watching TV. I'm like, Mom's not here. He's just like,
He just nodded his head. He's like, mm-hmm.
yeah. And I'm just like, you want a beer? He's like, nah. I just took my medication. I'm like, okay,
I gotcha.
gotcha.
But yeah, it's funny. I just came from upstairs. I came downstairs, and your dad was watching The 100. And
Yeah.
Lynn loves that show.
He's
and
been binging that shit like the past like 2-3 weeks.
Lynn said that the ending was terrible. So I really hope that doesn't like kill shows for your dad.
He's just gonna sit there. He's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Why? Why?
I just sat through 8 seasons of this shit.
It's like 10. It's like 9 seasons, dude. It's a lot. I
Yeah.
can't deal with shows that are like more than.
And I mean, if you
11
think about it,
seasons, bro, like,
you know,
geez.
shows is something a lot of people like to do during the holidays, is just catch up on shows.
True.
You know,
True. Oh God.
we're lucky enough to have time to actually sit down and watch things, but there are people out there that literally the only time they ever get to themselves is the holidays.
Damn.
Really,
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
you know.
I remember I was at work today, and man, like you wouldn't believe the amount of people that were like, "Oh, I had to work on Thanksgiving," you know, like because they need the job right now. Like
Yeah,
they don't have that option. They get the time and a half. They see that, and they're like, "I got to do that."
Yeah,
And they're doing that, you know, for their family, for themselves, you know.
yeah,
And it's crazy because I definitely take for granted the position that I'm in life, where I can have a holiday off and have it be a paid holiday.
right.
And, you know, it's just something that I like think about when I see these people, you know, covered in concrete with like concrete dust and, you know, the like scrapes and cuts on their hands and shit, and they just come, you know, they come, they do what they need to do, they go home and they eat, you know, the leftovers from Thanksgiving that they made, and they appreciate that.
Yeah,
And, you know, I take that takeaway is like, you really need to enjoy what you have in life,
yeah,
because there's always someone that has it better than you and always someone that has it worse than you.
yeah.
And so if you dwell on that for too long,
Yeah,
you'll find too many morbid viewpoints in life. And you definitely have to take a step back and just
appreciate your own shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's why Christmas is not about the presents. It's about the people and the time that you spend with them, you know. And that's something that definitely changes when you grow up, right? And that's why
for sure.
my kids are never going to know about Santa Claus. Well, they'll know about Santa Claus, but not in the way that
You know,
it is now.
You know, I'm thinking about it, and it's just like, it doesn't matter if you wanted your kids to think about Santa Claus the way we used to, is because nowadays, you know, by first grade you'll know Santa Claus isn't real. Well, back
True.
then it's just like you don't find out that you're like in fifth,
Some
like fourth grade.
some sixth grader comes up to you, he's like, Santa Claus wasn't real on like on Christmas week or something. You're like, no. And then you ask your parents, and they're like, I'm sorry, little one.
I'm sorry. No, but like like I was actually thinking about this because I was watching Rise of the Guardians the other day.
Oh, that's a good movie.
It's actually a pretty good
That's
movie.
a good DreamWorks movie.
And you know, it made me think a lot. It was just like, there's something beautiful about that innocence, you know? And it's just like, you think about it, and maybe that's why people, I guess, as parents, just love their kids so much when they're, you know, a lot younger, because it takes them back to like that innocence, you know, and they think back to it. It's just like, what a beautiful time to be alive.
What a beautiful lie.
and you know, that's why parents sometimes shelter kids so much, you know, because it's just like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't want my kid to go through what I went through, but at the same time, it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, let them enjoy that beautiful
Let it
bliss, you know,
come to a
but
natural end, though.
but they
you cannot extend it
at
forever.
some point, you know, it's just gonna, and then
Yeah.
they'll know.
It's gonna nip them in the.
There's
into
nothing you
something or
can
other.
there's nothing you can do about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Besides not be the reason they hit that point, but
yeah,
yeah, but
that's why I think it would be a little more special if I gave my kids the responsibility of keeping it like a secret from other kids. You know, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna let you in on a little industry secret here, okay? So Santa Claus is actually, you know, Saint Nick, and Saint Nick lived a long, long time ago, and he was this guy who would put presents in people's shoes and stuff, and that's why they do stockings. And so, I'll give him that whole explanation of like who Saint Nick was and the idea that he represents is Santa Claus, right? And it's really me and your mom that are getting all the presents for you, and they're gonna be like, what? And you like, okay, but you gotta promise you something. No matter how mad you get at somebody or anything,
don't ruin it for them.
Don't ruin it for them, because a lot of kids really love the idea of Santa Claus. But I'm gonna let you keep that secret, okay? All right, and dap it up, boop, and then he'll go off and he'll have this secret knowledge that can destroy the world. And I have to see if he's responsible enough to not release it into the cosmos, right? Like,
that's how you know if he's
the
Anakin
chosen
or
one.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. Wait,
Which side are you? Yeah, because Anakin isn't Darth Vader.
don't you mean Kylo Ren or Ben Solo?
Fuck
That
you.
one's for you, Lynn.
That's funny.
God, she's obsessed with Adam Driver. It kills me. I'm gonna expose you on the internet right now.
I didn't want to
She's-
say anything.
She's obsessed with Adam Driver.
Damn.
And you know what? It's a nose thing. I know for sure, because
That's
I have a big nose. He has a big nose, and that's pretty much the reason.
One day she's gonna go up to you. She's like, all I
One
want
day
is your
she's gonna
nose.
find
Just
his.
chop it off,
Oh
dude.
Jesus! What
I don't
is
want
it?
to play with you anymore.
Who's the guy from the Rugrats movie? The redhead with the ginormous fucking
Chucky,
nose? No. Chucky's the kid. His kid.
the father of Chucky.
Nigel Thornberry. That's the one.
Oh, isn't that from a different show?
No.
Is
No.
it the one with the monkey?
It's a spin-off. He's I think. Oh God, am I stupid?
It's a different show.
It's a different show.
It's a different.
It's
They
same
had
animator,
a
though.
crossover, but it's a
Same
different
animation,
show.
though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because that
Yeah.
guy's completely normal. Now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
People
but-
are probably so confused of what the fuck we're talking about.
But yeah, Nigel Thornberry is on my watch list too. If she starts popping up on our feeds, I'm gonna have to, of course, correct.
She or he? I'm so confused now because you said he, or you're probably
Did I?
talking really fast.
And nah, I'm just probably talking really fast. I meant he.
You do that sometimes.
You better
talk
watch yourself,
fast as
Nigel
fuck, and
Thornberry.
I'm just like, what'd you just say?
I said you better watch yourself, Nigel Thornberry.
Dude, I hate that shit so much when like someone's like talking really fast or like they're like mumbling when they're talking. I'm like, I honestly did not hear what you said.
So you hate me?
And they get upset. No, because you don't get upset when I ask you to talk. Like repeat it. You just piss me off because you do it for fun. But like other people, they just get like genuinely pissed. I'm just like, dude, it's not my fault. My ears are like, yeah. But
Yeah, bro.
yeah, but yeah, man, Christmas is wild.
Christmas
Wilder.
is wild.
Well, I mean, I celebrated Christmas. Obviously, people celebrate different things throughout, this time of year, but we're all experiencing the same thing, just different ideas.
Yeah.
You okay there?
I am okay.
You okay there? Cause
I don't know. I just drifted away into thought right there. That was weird.
what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about New Year's. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, damn, dude, we have
No.
And you know what's funny? The reason, like, how I say I enjoyed the holidays a lot is because, like, for me, like, there was a clear beginning, middle, and end to the holidays. Because the beginning was Thanksgiving. The middle was El 12 de Diciembre, which in, I guess you could say, Latino Catholic culture, it's a celebration of the Virgin Mary, basically, her birthday.
Mm.
And while I was an altar boy at the Sanctuary of Our Lady of Guadalupe here in Des Plaines,
Mhm.
and they do this whole like really big thing every year on the 12th of December. And I grew up helping, through like, doing that whenever they did it. Whatever day the 12th fell on, the 11th, it started on the 11th and ended on the 12th. Whatever day it was on, if it was in the middle of the week, I'd get called off of school, and,
wow.
and stuff like that, and like to go help out and shit, So it was like it was like the middle of the holidays, and then the end was New Year's,
Nice.
And so like I think for me is like having that beginning, middle, and end was kind of just like,
It's a couple
Fun.
months worth of fun. Yeah.
yeah. like right now in the situation that I've been in is just like it's just a bunch of fun with no end. And it's just like I don't, but now there is an end, you know, but like I didn't see the end coming, so now it's just like, damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Now you get to mix work with play. And
Work with play. Where are we gonna play?
No, I mean like with fun, you know,
Yeah.
because you're gonna be working now, and then you know you're just gonna. I'm sorry. There's this video playing in the background, and some of the most absurd shit is happening on it sometimes.
Do you want to grab the controller and like turn it off? Here,
No, it's good. It was just such a weird, like, he almost dropped his camera angle that was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're you know, holidays plus work. It's cool.
Well, I mean, this is the first holiday that in a while that I didn't work Black Friday, or work on a holiday
That must have been nice.
in like the past 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Four and a half years. Yeah. It was pleasantly nice, actually. You know, and like I said, like it helped me find a newfound appreciation for being a family.
Yeah. He went to go turn off the TV because I'm actually getting distracted, bro. I have like ADHD for some reason.
I literally asked you before this. You're gonna be fine, right?
Hey man, I did not expect that bullshit to go off in the middle of the.
Now you know why I like watching this shit. I literally, dude, all I did put on some music, get in my chill mood, and just fucking
just watch this dude, like
walk around Chicago.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
It's funny because there was this like one crackhead lady in the video, and she kept reappearing. She was like the black cat from Matrix, bro. There was like a glitch happening or something.
Yeah. And I mean, talking about chill is just like the holidays are. A lot of people forget that it's meant to just relax, and a lot of people do get like, oh, I gotta do all this and blah blah blah.
Actually, it's meant to you know, gain profits. That's a lot of it is commercialized now.
At the core, okay, not this
yes,
capitalist.
At the core, it's not capitalist.
Not this capitalist. Listen, man, you make of what you make of the world, okay?
Why isn't Thanksgiving on a Friday or Saturday?
You can't come at me like this, bro. Because now I'm gonna think about that shit.
Why is it?
They probably came up with some bullshit reason in school that I can't remember.
Black Friday. It's just Black Friday, and they don't want to move Black Friday because from Friday through the weekend there will be deals, and that's when people are free. Meanwhile, they have to go into work the next day on Friday.
But was it like that before we were born?
Yes. This idea of Black Friday, I don't remember when it was actually instituted. We can look that up. Go ahead and pull that up, Jer.
Jer? You just call me Jer? What the fuck is that supposed to be?
I don't know. Who's Jer? It just sounds like somebody that would pull up something on a computer. Hey, Jerry, pull that up.
Black Friday.
When was,
yeah. When was the first like actual Black Friday? Cause no, this shit started like as we were growing up.
No.
What the fuck? Okay, on September 24th, September. Well, this is
September 20th.
The Telegraph. I don't know if that's a
reliable news source.
Reliable news source.
The Telegraph?
Yeah.
Perhaps. I don't know. I think so. No. It's the one with like the red label, right?
So, no, it's telegraph.co.uk. So here it says on Friday 24th September 1869, in what became referred to as Black Friday, the U.S. gold market crashed and Fisk and Gold's actions left Wall Street.
That's actually no, like Black Friday.
It's not until later years that the post-Thanksgiving period became associated with the name.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, dude. Like it wasn't until like.
Wasn't until later on that
it wasn't until later on that it was like a really big thing. Black Friday later became known in print after an advertisement was published in the American magazine in 1966. By the late 1980s, the term was commonly known across the nation, and retailers soon linked it to their post-Thanksgiving sales.
So the day after Thanksgiving has been regarded as the beginning of the United States Christmas shopping season since 1952. So that was the beginning of Christmas shopping, essentially, and they gave it a name ever since 1952. Afterwards, it started trending as Black Friday.
So I guess before 1952, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that, but they started noticing that they were gaining so much, and so they made it like a little miniature holiday with its own name.
So
and now they started gaining so much.
So that's just someone taking advantage of a situation, though. That doesn't mean that the holidays at its core became
it's for
just that.
Christmas shopping. Is the thing.
Okay, exactly.
And
You're just taking advantage of a situation.
Yeah. So and then
which is what
capitalism
does. You know.
So I mean, sure.
You want to see it that way because you know the I guess the little picture I guess you could say is that's what the world sees, but in reality,
the little picture
it's something different.
Is the little picture not the family gathering and enjoying the time together?
No, that's the big picture.
That's the big picture.
That's the big picture because if you, at least the way that I see it, you know.
Well, yes. Our significance to us, no, I don't think about like, oh yeah, the government's really profiting from this today. You know, like I'm not thinking about all the taxes that they're winning.
Yeah, but you know,
our big picture, yes. The general like, holy shit, like this day, like pretty much makes or breaks the year for a lot of like consumers.
I would say that's more for companies. That's more of a business way of thinking about the holidays. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you truly, obviously, you know, if you work in business and all this stuff, like you know what you have to do in order to be successful and stuff like that, and you know that's the reason why you know business people are painted in such a bad picture, you know, in movies and shit, and you know that's why holiday movies. There are some holiday movies out there where the main character is this, you know, beat up business guy that you know all he cares about is money, and Scrooge, like literally Scrooge is like the that's who I'm thinking of, is you know what I'm saying. And it takes like all these like people to like kind of make them realize it's just like that's not what the holidays are about.
Someone just needs to wake up America, I guess.
Or show America the past, present, and future.
Jesus, I don't think we'd look too good, man.
A part of me feels like we're already living in a dystopia.
A dystopia?
Oh.
Nah, bro.
Like our own version. Again, like you said last episode, we wouldn't know until the end, but
it's a touch and go race.
Yeah. But no, at holiday, like I said, like holidays, like I think we let work. I wouldn't say a work environment, but more so news outlets and stuff like that. We let that be our judgment of what the general world thinks about the holidays and stuff like that, or about anything really, you know. And like I understand where your thought of that came from, because like you said, like the general people, it looks like that, but I think,
well, if you're talking about media and the holidays, I don't think you see any media outlet really going like really looking at the winnings and tracking that. They're really just selling the idea of like a really like happy family centered holiday.
Well, the media is just another form of entertainment. Or not entertainment, not entertainment, another form of advertisement for these companies. Because if you think about it, like those companies that own, you know, news stations and stuff like that, or they probably own retail stores and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, when you look at media, it's you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their world. But I think and someone who's worked in retail and during the holidays and stuff like that, there are definitely people where it's just like it's certainly just about, you know, the sales and shit. But I definitely think a lot more people than you realize actually do take the holidays for what they're supposed to be taken as. You get what I'm saying?
If that were true, I think there would be the idea of maybe like Christmas presents wouldn't be a lot of time in the forefront. You know, people still talk about like oh, are you going Christmas shopping yet? Like, that's still part of common, like common talk, right, about the holiday, like about Christmas specifically.
Honestly, here's my opinion of this holiday, of what it's gonna do. I think it's gonna push a lot of people more. I wouldn't say morally, but more so the thought process of the holidays is going to change after this holiday. I think we're gonna revert back to like what I'm saying of like the actual bigger picture is just enjoying the fact that you have people to be with, because because right now, what's it called? There's a lot of people who can't give you a gift. You know what I'm saying? Because of their situation. You know, there's literally people. I'm sure there are people in your family that, you know, they were going paycheck to paycheck probably to pay for the gifts that they ended up giving out to people. And now it's just kind of just like, dude, I actually need that paycheck to pay for what's under my roof. And a lot of people are going to start thinking it's just like, oh, that relative, like, honestly does have a lot more to offer to me than just a gift. You get what I'm saying? I feel like receiving a gift is nice, you know, and it, like you said, it is a big part of Christmas or like just the holidays in general.
Whether we mean to or not, whether we hold that in high regards or not, I know for a fact that my family, when they talk about gifts, you know, it's just a nice thing that happens on Christmas while the family's together. The family is supposed to be together, yes. And that is what, you know, Christmas does for us. We're all together. We're all conversing and talking and then celebrating almost the end of the year here. And, you know, we have this little like Santa Claus Jr. thing where, you know, like with my uncle and my cousin, and my two cousins, my older cousins. And he's Santa Claus, you know, then there's Santa Claus Jr. and the elf. And then they've been promoted. Like now it's their turn to be Santa Claus and Santa Claus Jr. or whatever. And you know, with the presents and giving that to everybody and everyone being like, oh my God, this is so nice. But that's at the very end of the night. And obviously, like the whole entire night we're having a good time together and everything. And that's at the center of what we think the holiday is what I'm saying. Like we think the holiday is all of this stuff. But the way that it's being sold to us is what I'm saying is kind of that bigger picture, you know, because in reality, that's stuff outside of our like control, because, you know, the world around us is doing all this other stuff while we have that. That's what I mean by smaller picture. I'm not trying to diminish the idea of like family coming together is at the core of why we do, you know, Christmas gatherings, because that's really what it is, at least for me and you, right? But
for the most part, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. But when we go out and do the shopping and then come back and wrap the gifts and everything, we're still partaking in that tradition that is being sold to us. You get what I'm saying? Like the Coca-Cola bear and shit like that. Like that's when we know it's Christmas. Like Coke cans and Coke commercials about the polar bear and shit and Santa Claus everywhere.
Yeah, but I think there is a difference between being involved in that and knowing that you're being sold something and being involved in that and not knowing that you're... You get what I'm saying?
We all know that we're being sold something, but we're still partaking in that tradition, though.
Yeah, I guess, but...
And it sucks.
I don't know, just the way
sucks.
that I see it is just very differently.
It sucks to know that, sure. But, like, it's not a... But, like, you look at it, and it's like, it's not a bad thing that we're getting each other gifts, right?
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the reason it's pushed so strongly at the end of the year isn't because... I don't think the majority of people who get together and have like a nice family time are coming out and saying, yes, we're coming together and having a nice family time. You know, it's all these companies and shit that are coming that are like, go ahead, go together and have a nice family time, you know, and have all these gifts and stuff.
So you feel like if it wasn't because of the gifts, people wouldn't be spending time together, is what you're saying?
No, if it wasn't because of all the advertising, shit, I think some people could blow right past Christmas and they're just like, oh shit, it was the 25th already? We were supposed to have Christmas Day the other day? Or, you know, like all of it leading up to it feels like a grand finale that we're being sold, you know? And then, you know, with the countdown, like calendars that everybody has and shit and like ticking off the days. I feel like it'd be kind of like Thanksgiving. You know how kind of Thanksgiving was like, oh shit, tomorrow's Thanksgiving? You know? Or like, oh shit, next week is Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
right?
I guess. But
So we're over here in December, or like at the end of, Black Friday, and we're thinking, shit, Christmas is coming up, not December 25th.
I mean, I get what you're saying, because I mean, there are people out there, solely. Sometimes it is solely because of their religion that they don't take, participation in any of that. I think I met someone once. I was just like, dude, winter break is just literally just a break. Like, I don't celebrate anything or anything like that. Like, it's just like chill. So I get what you're saying,
But you don't agree with it?
but I don't agree with it.
Okay.
I generally do feel like I think it has to do with the way that my parents raised me, or just how I grew up during the holidays and stuff like that, because a lot of it was spending time with the family and stuff like that, but that's what it was. As a kid, there were some parties that we went to where, like, oh yeah, like, what you said is like the Santa Claus and bringing gifts and stuff like that. Like, it started that way, but as a kid, no, it's not even that. But as I grew up, there are certain situations where our parents didn't necessarily have, I guess, the means to get us like those big gifts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so for me, I got that idea out of my head at a very young age, where it's like, oh, Christmas is all about gifts and stuff like that. Like, I didn't grow up necessarily with that notion all the time, every Christmas.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, neither did I. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that I didn't get like amazing gifts all the damn time, but there would be that one Christmas where it was like, you get one big thing, that's it. Like, you just get that one thing you really want, and then the rest is like, some clothes for the rest of the year and stuff like that. And those socks you really wanted, that's when you grow up, when you start getting excited about socks on Christmas. But I'm not saying that I believe it's all about like the fact that we're being advertised for Christmas. Christmas is family time. I'm just saying, I don't know if a lot of people would see it coming so far back if all these companies didn't have high stakes in it.
Do you feel like because of capitalism, that there is a lot of people that partake in, that there is a huge group of people that partake in Christmas just because of that?
Like a humongous majority? Yeah. Like, I feel
so you feel like the whole religion aspect of Christmas has been, for the majority of people, has been shot out the door. It's not about that anymore. It's literally just, it's us getting brainwashed into celebrating this end of the year with a bunch of gifts.
Well, the thing is about the religious aspect is not even everybody believes that he was born on, December 25th anyway. There's like that theory where he was born somewhere in like February or some shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
that I'm not 200% sure about. And I'm not saying that the religious aspect, like, you don't meet a bunch of people that are super religious and like, unless you're like, well, no, that's not true.
I was going to say, you'd be really surprised.
No, I know.
You'd be really surprised.
But like I don't know if there's a humongous majority out there that would celebrate it just for that reason. Like, there's a lot of like Catholics or Christians even.
The only reason my parents celebrate Christmas is because of our religion.
Is because of your religion?
Well, so there goes to answer that. That is why I don't see it the way that you do, is because I was genuinely brainwashed.
Yeah.
To say like Christmas is all about
Jesus,
your Jesus and your religion.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say, yeah, like, because again, there are certain things I'm a hermit too. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why I disagree with you,
but yeah, the thing is, like, it has a lot of these meanings at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's so well hidden, the fact that, like, whenever Christmas is here, it's freaking JCPenney up the ass and everything, and you're just, like, talking about sweaters and, like, looking at clothes so damn much. I don't know what it is, but, like me thinking about it more and more, I'm like, fuck, I've been sold a lot of this stuff and I'm just now realizing it. And so kind of like reflecting on it, you see how much a company is involved in something. And recently I've been doing this thing where you look into a company, right? And then you look at what other companies that company holds. And then you start looking and you follow this trail and then you're like, holy shit, this gas station.
The rabbit hole of the internet. You literally fell into the rabbit hole of the internet.
No, not the rabbit hole of the internet, just literally
No,
looking.
it is. I mean, you found it on the internet, didn't you?
Yeah, but you have to cite your sources at that point too. And you'll go and you'll see like subsidiaries of companies and then you'll be like, wait, holy shit. You're telling me Sears was owned by this freaking Exxon or something? And then, you see all these major companies with humongous strings attached to them. And you're like...
Disney owns basically all of TV.
Yeah, if you look hard enough, you'll probably find out that Disney has ties to tobacco, like Big Tobacco or something.
Probably.
Exactly. And that's the crazy thing. Would you work at Disney?
Would I?
Like if you were like an animator or voice actor or something, like you had an opportunity at Disney.
I mean, I think that's a rhetorical question.
Right?
Unless it was like an ethical or religious thing, I don't know why I wouldn't take a job up there.
Okay.
Unless there's a better offer on the table.
And do you support Big Tobacco?
I'm one of those people that's just like, you're not bothering me, and then just do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not in charge of your life. Make your own choices.
Okay, here I'll question that differently. Would you work for a tobacco company?
How do I say this? For me, if I'm not going to work for a tobacco company, then I might as well just not work for a big company at all either. Anyway, because there's the difference between someone selling you something that potentially kills you, but at the other time it's just like, I'm working with this company that's just taking your money and not taking into consideration that you probably should use that money for rent. Does that make sense to you?
No, but the point I was trying to get is, right, you wouldn't work for tobacco, but you would work for Disney, who funds tobacco. Is like the weird kind of like thing with our society and our capitalism, right? Like we have these ethical and moral questions, right? Right? And it's fucked up how all of them are intertwined, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, well, how fucked up is Christmas if like how many companies are dealing into it, right? And how much of it has been like kind of not twisted, but well, yeah, kind of like how much of it is twisted now because of how much interest companies have and which companies.
Try asking like a true through and through vegan that kind of question.
What kind of question?
Like a question like that. Like, would you work for, like, obviously, they wouldn't work for a makeup company that tests their makeup on animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they want to go work for this company that they advertise all their stuff as like, oh, it's like 100% vegan. We don't test our shit on animals and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
And then you find out that they're owned by like Avon.
or like they're owned by, like you say, by like a bigger company that does do, all these other things.
Now, if they
you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm getting to?
And
like,
so their morality is put into question, and at which point are the strings too much for them to like be held accountable, Like how many strings down the ladder is like, are you not held accountable at that point, right?
Right.
And so you're like, well, just because this company owns this company owns this company and funds this company doesn't mean anything,
Right.
And then you're just like,
I mean,
we're all contributing to like the biggest superpowers in the country at the end, at the end of the day, somehow.
And I mean too, I like, obviously it is a stupid question. Like, I know I ask stupid questions because a lot of the times I know like those people are mostly all about like independent companies and stuff. They're a little more aware, like people who are like actually
trying to
devote make a difference
to
and stuff like that. They know what they're doing. I'm not saying like, vegans don't know what they're doing, but like it was just,
but like how does
forming a question to form a question.
Yeah, so like what is an extremist view? What do you think an extremist view would say about that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty of companies like that out there where they have ties to like oil and stuff. People that are like super like green, right? Like they have the green thumb, and just want to go ahead and save the planet, but then they're working for a company that like funds a dude that puts a lot of money into oil, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like the whole spider web is the thing. And so where, like what I'm trying to say is the bigger picture is that spider web. So where does Christmas fall in that? Because all the good stuff is like you have a great job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for Christmas, that's you have a great family experience and a religious experience and all these other experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get gifts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start looking at the spider webs to each of those, the family experience. How does a big company sell the family experience? Through like gifts or through commercials that say,
You can only have fun if you have this with you the holidays.
yeah, and like they sell that to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say, like I said, when I say bigger picture, I think I mean that spider web, which is a better analogy than what I was trying to say before.
So don't you think that maybe Christmas is a fly that flew into the spider web of the capitalist spider web? And capitalism just took that fly and fucked it in the ass?
Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know.
That's
Good-
how I see it.
like a good intention and then just
Like
trapped in it in a web.
I mean, I think sometimes there is a clear like pessimism like for you on certain things, and there are certain things
I like
where,
to say
I-
cynicism, not pessimism, because I'm not saying it's all a bad thing. We're funding our, they're filling our potholes, right, with all the
Mhm.
taxes coming in,
right.
and so
Like you said, like,
it's a
it's
cynicism.
a very
Like, I
cynical
don't-
way of seeing things.
I don't take anything at face value, and I think I get a lot of hate for that sometimes. Like,
well,
why can't you just enjoy this, or why
Well-
can't you just take what I'm saying at face value? I'm just like, I'm sorry, I need to prove to myself that that's the right thing, and maybe I think about this way too much and I'm going into it too much.
well,
but-
here's the thing: is just like, yeah, I understand. Like, maybe you feel like I'm taking like this whole Christmas thing at just face value, but no, I definitely do feel like, how do I say this? You're the kind of person that will make someone question like why the fuck they like cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Did
like,
you know?
did you know that cheese came out of You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's like sometimes it doesn't need to go that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like there are certain things where it's just like, yeah, we need to get at the bottom of this, but sometimes like
You think I'm diving too deep?
it's not that. No, because I do the same thing, and I have to tell myself the same thing sometimes too, with certain subjects and stuff like that, of course. Which is why I think we're really good friends, is because we do that shit to each other all the fucking time, and like, but I feel like I definitely do think about the things that like I generally do think about it, but like for you, like I feel like you think about it and then it's gone. Like you don't dwell on things for too long. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I don't take a lot of like that shit to heart, really, because I know the world is a terrible place, right? And so I know about like we were talking about the spider web. I know about the spider web, right? I don't know to what evil spider it serves, but I know that it exists, and that's the way the world works. And that's, I don't want to think on it too much, because then I start looking at myself and I'm like, holy shit. And then I look at oil companies, and then I see what disasters oil companies have caused, and then I see what like families that it's caused, and then I see the child that died in the oil bomb or something, and I'm just
Jeez.
like, oh God, I funded this,
Right.
like I can't do that to myself, because in the end we're all domino affecting something somewhere at the end of the day.
So okay, so let me bring up this question to you. You I guess you can say realize that, yeah, we live on the spider web, right?
Yeah.
And you've accepted it for what it is, or whatever. There are people out there who don't accept it for what it is. So how can someone who doesn't accept it the way that it is, what are your thoughts on how to change that? How do you change this really big spider web? How do you kill the spider at the center of it?
Shit, I don't even know what the spider is, so I can't answer the kill the spider. But to maybe untangle certain things, like just make people aware, you know. Jesus Christ, my phone. I'm sorry.
Just a bunch of distractions today.
Yep. So yeah, that like you said, you know, the fly, right? Like Christmas at its face value. If we untangle the web from everything,
I don't think it's face
not
value.
yeah
though.
yeah no, I think that's the phrase you used. You used face value, and I
You
was
used face value. You used face value for
no.
because you said I don't take things for face value. You said I ask things. Trust me, when we listen back to this, you're gonna see that you're the one that said face value.
Well, I might edit this out anyway. So, but in terms of like, I didn't mean face value then. And what I meant to say was, you take things to heart because the things you take to heart are valuable to you, and those are the things you focus on. And the stuff around it isn't really all that important in comparison to what you value in that situation. Like Christmas, it's your religion, it's your family, it's all these gatherings, all these good memories. And, you know, in the end, like, yeah, sometimes gifts. And even if you didn't always get gifts, you remember the gifts because it was a nice moment with your family celebrating your religion on Christmas Day. And it's that. But, you know, that's the stuff you shine a spotlight on. And that's what I mean by, you know, smaller picture. It's what's in the light, right? But if you start looking at everything, you know, then you'll see, shit, I'm being sold this all the damn time. Or now we can look at our Facebook feed knowing how Facebook kind of works, right? And we're going to be like, holy shit, I'm being like demolished with a bunch of like Christmas ads and stuff. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is on replay on Cartoon Network all the time. If we're even watching Cartoon Network, I don't know why I use it.
It's what we grew up with.
Yeah, well, yeah, right? Like Cartoon Network's always replaying that.
Every now and then. Sometimes we'd have cable,
Or
sometimes
Santa.
we wouldn't have cable. So
Or my grandma got hit with a reindeer or something like that.
I remember. 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler.
True.
That's a really
Elf.
good movie.
A lot of stuff, right? And yeah, you know, we just got to live with that. We are living in a capitalist society, and it's worked out for America so far. And
So far.
I don't know. I can't see the future. I haven't been Scrooged yet. You know, maybe after this episode, someone will Scrooge me. But, huh?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Now that you say
wording.
that. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
No.
Okay. No, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, that's not my overall view on Christmas, but I see Christmas for maybe what it is in America is the thing, you know. Maybe if we did like a little study into what Christmas is in like maybe like a third world country.
We can do a
something.
poll.
A poll?
Yeah.
True, we can do a poll.
What is Christmas's core? Is it the capitalist ideal, should I say?
Or what do you think? Yeah.
Is it the
What do you
capitalist
think
ideal,
is
or
Christmas
is it
at its
family
core?
and friends?
Yeah, is it family or religious gathering,
Yeah.
or something skewed for capitalist intent or something like that?
Right.
That'd be a good question just to pose in general, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
but I mean, we make things sound so fucking depressing.
I don't know. It's that cynical side of me. Yeah, definitely. Not depressing, but like very realist, you know? Like, come on now, you really think that? Like,
I think after years of being an overthinker, I finally just am trying to see the positive side of everything. You know, because I definitely noticed that being a pessimist and being a overthinker definitely ruins stuff for you, and you do it to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
half glass full and half glass empty are completely in context, brother. If you're filling a cup, it's half full. And if you're emptying it, it's half empty. It depends on what you're doing at the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And so you're a half glass full because you're filling the cup, you know? You're finding good things to put in there. And the half glass full is like just kind of throwing away the stuff that you value because
Sometimes
you find some bad shit in it.
Sometimes you put things in
I
there
just-
that start digging out all the stuff that you put in the first place.
I just stare at the cup and I see the water and I see the air and they're both there, you know. Like I'm just chilling, you know. I see both sides and I take it as what it is up until there's you know, I'm not saying that
Something that affects you.
yes, something that not only affects you but something that you know is wrong, you know. And that's when you have to, you know, blow the whistle a little bit.
Right.
And just for an example, you know, like I don't know, just when you see general like terribleness.
Like someone being racist to someone else.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with. Like
Yeah.
really, but I didn't know if I wanted to go there, but yeah, racism. You see racism, you know, you have to stand up for it at a certain point cuz you know,
I mean, it doesn't matter what the point is if you see it. Oh wait, you should always do something about it.
hold on. When you see someone taking that shit on the chin and dealing with it themselves, yeah. Like someone like is handling it on their own, just be like, he's got it. But shit, when it's like a group and it's becoming an idea, that's when you got to take a side. And you got to pick the right side. And that's just, you know, we're all human. And I hate the fact that racism is even a concept. But, you know, definitely.
I feel. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Like I get what you're saying. It's just like, oh, some like that person doesn't need my help, so I'm just, you know, it like he's got it. Like you said, like yeah, sure.
I won't intervene in the moment of racism, is what I'm saying. Like if someone is like calling him the N-word and he's like, man, like you're just a bigot and shit like that, right? And then he is done with that conflict. I'll go to him. I'm like, dude, that was not cool. Like you good, and then I'll make sure that he's good and stuff. And you know, a lot of those interactions with a person, they've already been taught how to deal with it because in reality, a lot of people will live with it their entire lives.
Right.
And so at a certain moment, like our age, some people have reached that maturity, and some people are just so beat up that they'll take it to heart every time, and that's when I'll intervene, you know. And I don't know. I don't want to be the whole like white knight or anything during someone's situation, like how dare you, and just come in,
make it
like,
all about you. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's something I'm conscious about, which
Right.
is another thing, like big picture about me. Like I see a moment that like instantly pisses me off, but I need to take a step back
Because you don't want to make it about yourself. Because the way that you deal with things, it would seem that way.
pretty much. But yeah, not saying don't do anything. I'm saying if the situation calls for it, act. But if it's really something that you can't change and is really ingrained into like the system of how you live, like capitalism in general, because that's literally how our entire country operates, then you know, just roll with the punches, do what you can to support your own morals and all that, you know.
Yeah. Change your own little island.
Yep. Just like your New Year's resolutions. What's New Year's like for you, man?
New Year's, usually filled with disappointment, but
Really?
New Year's is always been one of those holidays where it's just like you, I think, start thinking about everything that's happened in the year. And then you kind of just, you either realize that you're in a much better space than when the year started, or you realize that you've been through some shit and you don't know how you've handled that mentally. And then you finally burst.
Yeah. It's a year in memoriam, really. You just look back. And I think that's good. That's healthy. You know?
Reflection is healthy.
Yeah.
But there is a such thing. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I do think that memories at a certain point can be more harm than good. Like, I think it's a good thing that we forget certain things, because I feel like if we had something that let us go back to any memory that we wanted, I think people would find a way to use that as a drug. You know what I'm saying?
Some of that Black Mirror thing.
I have never watched Black Mirror, so
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, there's this really dope episode. I'm just going to give you the general concept. Where
spoilers
you have,
alert.
Yeah. Sorry. Spoiler alert for like episode 3 of the first season of Black Mirror.
Right.
He's got this little remote,
Mhm.
and you can go back and just play through images that you had. That's it. Literally,
Yeah.
like in your own eyes, like you can see, like you can go back to that interview, right? And look at where you messed up, and then you're like, shit, I should have done this, and you just back on that again. Then you rewind and rewind and rewind, and a moment that might have been like iffy with like your girlfriend is like haunting you to this day, even though it was like 5 years ago and you guys have already made up, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I
And
think it could
it's-
definitely be a drug. Or, I mean, obviously, for
If-
someone that's in a good space, like I'm pretty sure it wouldn't phase them. But for someone who either recently got out of a relationship or someone who just can't let go of something, you know, it's the same. It's the same way that I view just drugs in general. There are bad drugs out there, but there are a majority of addiction is just the circumstances in which you use the drug. Obviously, yeah, it also matters what drug you use, but I think at least 70% of the time it's the circumstances.
Yeah.
And
This is my happy heroin.
and kind of like what we talked about Euphoria, you know, like
Mhm.
she was taking, okay, the first circumstance, you know, wasn't her fault. You know, she was literally needed that liquid Valium.
To calm
You
her
know,
from her panic attack.
Right.
We're
But-
talking about Rue.
Yeah, Rue from Euphoria. But when she started using it with her father, it was a different circumstance. She didn't need it, you know? And
And I think that just goes down to how we categorize shit in our head, you know?
yeah.
And we like store memories in certain ways to where it starts breaking them down into the bigger picture with a crucial moment in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the core memories from Inside Out, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And so it's that idea that a memory can be broken down into this crucial point that affected you instead of remembering it vividly 100%, you know? Because in that context, anything can be terrible or anything can be great and anything can be anything. But I think it's what you take out of that memory is what really forms who you are. And
Yeah.
if you were to relive memories accurately, you'd be unsure of that because you wouldn't be able to take anything away from it because you can constantly look back on it,
Yeah.
if you feel what I mean.
Yeah. But New Year's in general for me, I wouldn't say it isn't a good I guess celebration. More so it's very internal
For you,
for me.
Hmm. Very different from your Christmas point of view. There's less you can relate to, I guess, there.
Well, like I said, it's the end.
It is the
You know, it's the end of all of that, and and
maybe I should try that.
you know you enter this spot of you're tired, like you are honest with yourself and just say, at least for me, like I'm tired. Like I just went through all that within a year, and some people have the chance to just kind of regroup themselves, you know, a day or two after the, you know, New Year's. But there are other people, like you said, that go right to work.
Yeah.
And just start the new year all over again. I feel like New Year's Day and the day after are good, like, for yourself. If you know what's good for yourself, you should take those days off.
Right.
You know. But that's just me.
And I think the reason I maybe don't feel that, because I definitely do reflect on the year, maybe not as internally as like you would, because I think I don't, because technically the year's not over for me. My birthday comes like 6 days after that, and then my cousin's birthday one day after that, and then so it's like a lot of celebrating still. Like you're with the family, like in terms of my family, like through the middle of January, we're pretty much all together all the time.
So
And then by the end of that, we're usually saying goodbye to my tia, who's been staying with us, and then she goes
Mhm.
back to Guatemala. And then that's when we kind of, hit our relaxing point. But by then, we're already going back to school. And so the cycle never ended for me, I think. I kept getting that refresh of constantly new things.
so
I don't think I got that reflection.
what if I challenge you this year, right?
So what
Challenge
if I
you to a
challenged you to a duel right now?
No, what if I challenge you this year
Uh-huh.
to do the whole reflection thing and stuff like that, and take, instead of your birthday as being part of, still that year round, have it be, how I say, part of that new beginning instead. You get what I'm saying? Where you growing up, you've lumped it up with the end, but what about this time you lump it up with the beginning? Start the year with a bang. You get what I'm saying?
I think,
I guess, I mean, timeline wise for you, it's not accurate.
yeah.
But in terms of calendar wise, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to think if I even have a moment like that, like you, where, because, you have a lot leading up to January 1st. You have a lot more than I do, because I don't even celebrate December 12th because Catholics
I don't celebrate that anymore.
No? I mean,
No.
even having like a little gathering with the family, nothing?
No.
No?
No, like December 12th is just another day for me
Oh, okay.
now.
Okay. Yeah, it's always
That's
been
crazy.
it's always been like that for me, because Christians don't believe in saints, so that's like one of the major differences between Catholicism and Christianity. And
So what you're saying is we got to start our own thing leading up to New Year's, and kind of make our own little middle here in December. Have like a
no, because then like I can't just deny my own birthday, like nope, that did not happen.
You wouldn't be denying it. You would just be part of the new year, not part of this year. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this year's birthday for you already passed, technically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know if I'd have to really trick myself.
Just try it. Just obviously. Well, obviously, it's a stupid challenge because this is something you'd have to challenge yourself like year after year, and eventually you'd probably like. It's like one of those things that like it's the long haul kind of challenge.
I guess.
But I'm not gonna ask you to
do that.
do that.
Just ponder what it would be like, I guess, to maybe have that reflection fully on the end of the year.
Do you feel like it would reduce the
Same effect as your
that sadness after the new year, like after like your birthday, and because
I think
how do I say this? I'm not trying to say I know you, but just like as a human being, after so much celebration and so much good, and then when reality kind of just smacks you in the face after that, there is a sense of just sadness.
Yeah. But if I'm going to be honest with myself, reality's been good to me. I have a lot. Looking at this year, actually, I have a lot to celebrate, even in my reflection, which makes me more fortunate than a lot of people in my life already.
Which is good.
Yeah, for sure. Just starting at the beginning of the year, my grandfather was out of the hospital like 2 months now, and things were looking up, and he went in somewhere in the beginning of like February or something like that, and they told him he's in remission, and so that's one major win. And then I have Lynn's birthday on in April, and we hang out and we have a good time, and then the only stress I really remember from then is like school and
all that stuff
that normally is like the routine for that time of year anyway,
right,
for as long as I can remember. And then COVID. And then
you went to visit me right before.
No, right after.
Well, it was literally the week of.
Yeah.
The week of.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
And we had a good time there. I guess, yeah. I guess
So-
there is that one.
So you're definitely looking at the flip side of it all. Whereas to like, I definitely do feel like when I reflect on things, like obviously I'm still learning to reflect on the good things,
Mhm.
you know. But for me, I guess that is why that moment has always been so solemn for me, is because for the longest time, me as a person in general, I don't really think about the negatives. And I think a part of that is just because it reflects on kind of like, this is going to sound so, how do I say this? Like, I don't want you to feel sorry for me or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I think it kind of reflects kind of like what I grew up in, where it's just like, I feel like I'm doing good, but really all that's pointed out is a negative. You know what I'm saying? So I was trained, I grew up as like thinking like everyone else points out my negatives, so I might as well look at it the same way too. You get what I'm saying? But that's changing, obviously, as you
Yeah.
grow up. But I definitely, that's just the way
How you kind of look at yourself.
how I guess just kind of how I grew up, and that's why I guess I come off as not very confident or not very sure of myself and stuff like that,
And I think we have that in common. The only big factor, because I've always been told about whether it be my weight or the fact that I don't look Latino or like stuff like that. I've always been,
Güero.
yeah, pretty much just a little little teases here and there, like little things about like my nose is big,
Right,
or
right.
crooked or something. And just you look at yourself and you're just like, damn, all these things are true. But I think the main factor is, remember what I told you about my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
That lesson that I took away from myself is, I'd have cousins and like my uncle that would like poke fun at me, right? But I knew that they always had my best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what mattered. And so I had that really like that core family centric, my family cares about me, and that's all I need. And so even though I like those things would hurt my feelings when I would hear them, I reflected more on the fact that it had nothing, like my life,
It had nothing to do with the fact that they actually do love you.
yeah,
They're
like,
just teasing. They're just pulling your balls.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And that's just coming from them. Like when somebody outside of my family would say some shit to me and it would hurt my feelings, I wouldn't take it to heart because I knew I had my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that like cushion to fall on, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much like that's why I never took anything to heart.
I'm just a big softie is all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Which
like-
is funny because, beginning of high school, I wasn't looked that way, but like towards the end of it, I guess you could say I kind of was coming more so into myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so but the main people around me that did know me do see that. You know what I'm saying? Some close friends of ours, like all the time, whenever I'm going through something and stuff like that, they're just like, you're just sensitive. So I do understand. I do at least understand that from my part of myself now. It's just like I know that I'm a sensitive person. I know I like to just make things up out of my head.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better at that for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You gotta. Yeah.
But yeah, you're just a stone cold asshole.
Pretty much.
Just shitting rocks every day.
Jesus.
Kidding. Nah. I mean, I believe that everybody has a soft spot.
Oh, I do.
Mine's just a little bigger than everyone else's. That's all it is.
What does Deadpool say? You'll soon find out that I have plenty of hard spots too. That came out wrong. Or did it? And then he kisses
Did
the
it?
dude on the cheek and he goes,
Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel like holidays, you either have really, really good experiences or you have a couple shitty ones, and some people it jades them for forever. And for other people they don't let it, do that, and life goes on. bring on the next holiday, and it's just a repeating cycle. But I definitely do believe that this is a really good time to reconnect with people, or just reach out to someone that, you know, you need to just talk to.
Yeah.
Now's as a good time as any.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess my little last thing is just, you know, enjoy the holidays. You know, I don't mean to sound preachy or anything like that, but do be grateful for the people you do have around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sucks not being able to gather and bigger, you know, as a family as a whole right now, but it is a good time to, instead of seeing it that way, see it as in I get to really appreciate the people that I actually grew up with, actually was raised with.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be your sister, you know, or stepsister or whatever, you know, or stepbrother. The way you looked at me, bro.
You made eye contact with me as soon as you said stepsister, bro. I couldn't hold it in. So yeah, pretty much just enjoy your family.
Man, just yeah. Enjoy life, you know. There's a lot of shady things going on in the world, and this is a good time to kind of just enjoy life for what it is.
Yeah. And shit, I might try that. Little reflection piece at the end. I think the shittiest New Year's I've ever had was the one I had like 103 fever, and Lynn had to take care of me till like 4 a.m.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then she came back the next day. She's like my nurse, pretty much. She's nursing me back to health. Dude, I kept trying to hide under the covers because I was so freaking cold because of my fever. And her and my mom kept ripping the blankets off of me, and I was like, no, please.
Jeez.
But yeah, they both made me better. And yeah, but in terms of like shitty experience, that's about it. It never felt like the final breath of the year.
Mm-hmm.
More like shit, here we go again, you know, for the rest of the week. Because then it's my birthday, like I said, and then
birthday,
you know, school. Yeah, just
yeah.
It felt like you know, the crazy train, really.
Yeah. But now we got our podcast to reflect on.
Yeah, dude, I was just saying how this is like a drug for us, bro. Like we were just talking regularly with the headset on playback so that we can kind of hear ourselves like how you guys would hear us. And we just went into like our podcast mode, just talking about regular stuff like rice and beans, bro.
Yeah. But thank you for listening to us. Hey, this is our 5th episode now, so
yeah,
you know, give us a like, follow, subscribe. You know, we're on YouTube now. We're on Podbean,
Spotify.
We're on Spotify. Our newest episodes are going to be on YouTube. Our older ones we'll probably post a little more in the future, just because of the way that it posts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little late with that, but I'll promise we'll get those on there. We'll figure it out.
For sure.
But yeah, you know, we're on Instagram, Facebook. Find us.
Yes. Find us. Goodbye.